Oh,
Hello.
Tim, good to see you again.
Great to see you again, sir.
No, thanks for joining me in your vehicle here. I'm gonna try. I thought we had such good energy yesterday. We were chatting very well. I thought, it's a kind of shame that damned technology, but it's likely my fault, and I apologize for that. But here we are then. Now, so I'm gonna just make sure I'm still recording this here, which is good to go. All right. Now, once again here with Tim, and Tim, we're gonna go over, Tim, what happened yesterday, mostly at the Santa Claus parade, right?
Right, correct. Yes.
So I think, as we were talking about, I was in Dundas Square and heading north, and who I was with wanted to get something at the liquor store and some food, and we missed what happened. I saw your videos; they're very telling. But from being there, like, what was your feelings about those things? If you could describe what happened there, I'd really appreciate that.
So, what had seemed to happen as we rounded the corner, we were going northward up Yonge Street, and we rounded the corner onto St. Clair, and all of a sudden there were ripples back from the front of the procession that, okay, that's it, that's all, the parade has stopped. That's the message that we heard. And we walked a little bit farther, and we saw Lamont gave a bit of a speech. He said, okay, the floats are going to go one direction. The police have sanctioned us to come this far, and this is the agreement. And the floats are going to go one direction, and the people, you're welcome to take the TTC, walk back down Yonge Street, and or otherwise disperse. And then he'd gone back through the crowd saying, okay, that's it, that's all. It didn't seem to be what was on everyone's agenda, because there was a few more groups of people that they wanted to continue. They wanted to continue at, like, there was all sorts of different ideas. Some people said, well, we have the right to we have the right to keep going, etc., etc. There were some other people that were calling for something a little bit more there, and the crowd wasn't having any of it. The crowd wanted to be peaceful. The crowd was just there to enjoy the Santa Claus parade. So as we turned the corner there was a police blockade in front and a police blockade behind, blocking off the intersection of Yonge Street. And it seems like the first float was able to go northward from that little area and turn away. And it was stopped by the police for a little moment, and then it kind of dematerialized from sight. Now, the rest of the floats seemed to stay trapped in that blockade for quite some time, because even as I'd made it all the way back to Dundas Square, they were still missing and unaccounted for. One of the floats had managed to circle around and go back to Yonge Street, and that's the one where I've got some later video of. There's a bit of a procession back down Yonge Street, maybe about a third or half of the amount of people there. The rest of the float stayed stuck there, and we had the police mount one of the floats, and they were taking down speaker equipment, and I'm not exactly sure what that was about, because I didn't get great audio on that, but that's what I saw.
I saw the video too. That's with the DJ Omari, that equipment. That
Yes, correct.
I saw him on the video. Then he would typically be there just with equipment. Then it's nice that they would let them take those down, I guess, sort of. I was a bit shocked that the cops were there with the DJ helping him move his stereo equipment. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Absolutely. Like, there seemed to be a bit of an argument, but I can't just exactly say I can't exactly say as to what I didn't overhear very much of it there, but yeah, no, there were several police on the truck. They were taking down the speaker equipment, and they didn't want the speaker equipment.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure.
What are they going to do with it, right? All they're going to do with it is just turn it off. But see, another thing too, sorry to cut off this, but with DJ Omari though, during the summer at the Cherry Beach, typically how this has gone for a few months, like since about 8 months, it's been going on, a kind of idea, I guess. and he would bring the equipment, his speakers, just like that, and the DJ equipment, spin a few tunes at Queens Park, and then carry on the party at Cherry Beach. At Cherry Beach, this one time that I was there till the break of dawn, it was party all the time, and suddenly the next morning at around 10:30 or 11, some two homeless dudes came by with chainsaws and chainsawed his DJ equipment up at Cherry Beach.
Oh, that's absolutely not what I expected you to say.
No,
That's
no, but the problem here's what I think. Then the cops didn't charge anyone who did that,
right.
and
Yeah.
now there's. So I was thinking to myself how familiar they are with handling the equipment. What happened then after that beach party thing, or protest rather, is that the next week there was more equipment brought and paid for, ready to go. Just the thing, good
Mhm.
stuff. But the police didn't seem they seemed open to helping at that time also. Anyway, just they don't seem to be looking for trouble then. Now, what?
No. As far as I could tell, even as they had stopped the procession before, as far as I could tell, it seemed like that was an agreement made between the organizers and the police that the parade was going to go to there. There didn't seem to be a huge didn't seem to be a huge plan as to what would happen afterwards, but it
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it was the police jumping in out of nowhere and just deciding to stop it for the sake of stopping it. It sounded like that was an agreement that had been made. Now maybe the crowd wasn't aware of that, is what it sounded like, because the entire way up Yonge Street, many people had asked, well, where's it stopping? Where's it turning? It's
mm,
important for me to figure out how I can film it, right? Like I gotta, and nobody seemed to kind of know. And all of a sudden we got to St. Clair, and it's just like, okay, well, put the brakes on. This is this is what we're doing. This is the plan. Take the TTC back. Have a nice day. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh,
yeah.
it was shocking to me as it happened. I didn't know what to expect.
Well, at least no one was hurt, right? Now,
Right. And I mean, even as we reached Midtown, I was kind of wondering. I'm like, are we continuing to Newmarket, or like how
yeah,
where will this go? This is about what about? Do you think about 4 kilometers or so?
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's some people there were children, and some people there were elderly as well.
Absolutely. And there must have been some people who stopped along the way or something like this. I can't imagine that every single person made it the entire distance and all the way back. That was quite a jaunt.
Well, we'll say me then, but I was looking for it. I walked the distance, but the wrong direction then after going into a store with someone, and I went down south on Spadina after heading westbound as was per usual. But it doesn't matter then. So that's why I'm so out of sorts on that, lost on it. The so overall it seems like, so what happened then? Was there people trying to break the police barricade or stuff like that? Because I heard there was some sort of trouble there. Nothing really bad, but there was a ticket handed out.
Yeah, well, as far as I could tell, I believe one or some of the floats were being ticketed.
Yeah.
That's something that I had heard over cell phone conversations, etc. It sounded like they were at least detained there for some amount of time. Now, there were there were some people who wanted to continue the march.
Mhm.
There was the march organizer who had said the march was dispersed. There were some other people who wanted to continue the march, and it it didn't seem very well thought out. It seemed like a very knee jerk reaction. Okay, we're here. Let's continue. And people were kind of like, well, how and what? And then there was a third group of people who there was one or two other people. Let's call them maybe like agitators or so. I think they were just trying to provoke a reaction from the crowd, and they were yelling out like "F the police" and do this, and then and let's get the floats to charge their way through the barricade for the freedom and all this. And people were just like, no, that's a terrible idea. Please don't yell that, and like don't whip up the crowd like that. Like what can possibly be gained by doing this there? We had the event. It went off pretty well. Here we are. I guess this was the planned end. It's a little bit of a shock to people that we didn't, know this was going to happen. But I mean, absolutely no point to like antagonize and start an open conflict with the police for some reason. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's vehicular bloody assault. I mean,
Yeah,
can't do this kind of stuff.
I agree. So the thing is, I saw the video of that guy with the military style outfit, the camouflage.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He's fuck the police. Let's kind of thing. I'm like, You can't hide in camouflage and down. Well, you should have worn concrete coloring here, buddy, if you're in the war in downtown Toronto. But that aside, you know what? No one is there for that. Like very few people are there for that. It kind of misrepresent every makes everyone look bad. That's not okay, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the proper spirit of the parade kind of ended as we approached the corner. That's kind of where I'm taking the event there, and a little bit this was, you know, confusion and group fighting and all this kind of stuff. And really, I have to say, it was one or two people. It was one or two or three people that were more boisterous. It definitely wasn't the will of most of the crowd, et cetera, et cetera. People wanted to continue. People were surprised that it was stopping, but they'd already been wondering for several blocks. Went, okay, like, how far are we going to go?
Yeah, yeah.
And the majority of the crowd was very peaceful, etc. They said, okay, well, that's the plan. It's not exactly what we like, but okay, let's have a gentle stroll down Yonge Street. Oh, maybe one of the floats will rejoin us. And one of the floats did manage to circle around. It didn't seem to have either any conflict with the police. It seemed like it just moved and did the circle that they had originally asked to do when when the whole thing was to stop. They seemed like that was the float that actually went and circled and began to go south down Yonge Street. Because I mean, because like they are floats, right? You can go like 8 kilometers an hour, but what are you supposed to do? Like get out and put a tarp on the thing and ratchet strap it down and make it, you know, all of a sudden fully compliant for fast normal road travel kind of thing? Like you gotta take this slowly somewhere back to wherever he's assembled it, I guess, and you gotta spend some time to pack it up. So I mean, it's yeah, that the one float did that and they went slowly back down Yonge Street and that was okay, but the rest of the floats seemed to have a problem. As I say, the lead float was gone. The other 3 middle floats, by the time I'd made it back to Dundas Square, they were still there, according to what I'd heard from the cell phone of 2 of the people that were, you know, in partnership with some of the floats there. It seemed like they were detained there for a while, and beyond that, I haven't heard anything else there. But I would infer, like, being detained that long, somebody probably got a ticket for something. I mean,
I think we were on that phone call where on that Zoom call the night, and Kelly came by all frazzled then, right? And I think she was suggesting that she got a ticket then.
Okay. Was it that she got a ticket, or was it the float got a ticket, or the event got a ticket, or not really?
Depending on who you ask, she thinks she's at the float and the event, and she deserves a ticket. She's dying for the ticket sometimes, Kelly. She's looking to take the bullets for the team, you know? And that's how that's the mystique she's looking towards a bit. And she's certainly the loud one, so at least there's that. Now I'm gonna wonder if I was wondering to myself if she was the one who was promoting the keep moving through the police line kind of thing. Because it kind of she's very reactionary sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. I just feel like that a bit.
It was there was passion. There was, as I say, there was several degrees of that. I believe her position seemed to be, well, we're going to continue marching. Now, who we encompasses, well, I don't know. And I mean, you're perfectly within your rights to walk. And I mean, you can be loud if you want, I guess, and you can cross the street, etc. I would think that was more on the middle tier. I mean, open call to charge the blockade there were some, how do you call them? There were some kind of rowdy types there as well, and they were picking up on some of this energy. Well, let's continue the march. I mean, okay, you can propose this, but I mean, there's many different ways to do this. One is to keep walking yourself. Another one is to suggest, I mean, okay, yeah, we gotta break the floats free, and we gotta, like, you know, get this thing going back again. And you know, because we're complying with the police, this is you know, this is bad, this is etc. I mean,
lots of views there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a like a, how do you say, it was a bit of a like a heat. It was like a heated back and forth a little bit there. The decision making on that happened very fast, and then she had ended up going and walking with the group that was going southward and rejoined up with the other float. And everyone else that stayed there, I guess, everything else that stayed there seemed to have stayed there. Some of the wags as well, like they went and followed the rest of the group as well. I got a little bit of yelling, this and that there, but I don't know. It's sometimes you get a few people that want to provoke or want to agitate a little bit. And I mean, I don't know. I guess it's one of the things that happens when you attract a large, they say conservatism is a large tent. In the you have an event like this and you have all these different views and passions represented. And yeah, as I say, for me and for what I'm going to publish on the actual parade itself there, I'm going to pause like a little bit before that. That in and of itself is like that's another event. That's another thing that happened. That's another one there. And for me, it's disconnected from the spirit of the parade that was going on there. We've ended up with quite a nice parade, quite a nice procession all the way up Yonge Street there.
Santa Claus parade. Come on, kids are
Santa
there,
Claus
right?
parade. Yeah,
I agree. It's good, but you're right. That would look like bad PR for everyone if there's a problem there. Police, grandparents, organizers, everyone. If there's some problem at the Santa Claus parade.
absolutely. It's about caring. It's about family. It's about recreating it for the kids to show the spirit of the Canadian people.
Yeah.
Like the parade has been canceled, but we're gonna go ahead with it anyway. And I think that is a very powerful optic. I think that's what I really want to go with. If I want to show somebody what happened, showing them that is going to show them a large amount of what happened. And I mean, there's always, how do you say, off camera, there's always somebody doing something kind of silly somewhere here and there. And I mean, okay, but one or two people doing something interesting doesn't have to flavor and color the entire event necessarily.
If you bring me to a wedding, I'll have 35 shots of tequila and I'll ruin it for me, but not for everyone. But that's what I mean. Like it's the optics though, 100% then. Now for yourself and as a journalist then, could you tell me where you're going next and any message that you'd like to get out?
Well, where I'm going next, I'm still, oh boy, I had a much better answer for this yesterday. Well, we've got several projects coming up. We've got, of course, I'm going to publish the parade as a montage. Several montages there. We're just about done. We're just about ready to put that out there so that people can have a kind of an immersive kind of documentary style experience of what went on that day there, just for the people that missed it or for the people that haven't heard exactly whatever there, haven't heard exactly too much about it. This is going to be able to fill people in on the extra parts of it there. Apart from that, we are going to be working on some music videos. We're going to be working on publishing the last of the previous march that's on Saturday, plus the speeches and all of that type of thing. And we are looking forward to coverage of whatever may transpire on next Saturday, because that might be an interesting event in and of itself.
Yeah, you think so? I wonder that then. On your talk, it's on Boxing Day, correct?
Yes, I believe so. I believe it's on Boxing Day, and I believe it would be on the first day of the newly proposed lockdown. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. They all blend in with me. They lock down. Is it still the first one? I thought we were ending in 20 days. That's how I feel about lockdowns. It's real. It's all complicated and much for myself.
Yeah, I don't remember ever stopping the previous lockdown, but then Dougie Poo was saying yesterday, oh, there's going to be another lockdown, and then reintroducing a whole bunch of the same things that I thought most people were doing this kind of stuff anyway.
That's what I was thinking as well. I'm like, isn't this just how it already is? Like, why do we have to keep saying the same thing over and over and calling it new? It seems like it's still going on.
Yeah. And I mean, like, so if it's restarting then I mean, does that mean it's done now? Because I don't ever remember somebody saying, oh, it's done, it's finished, it's over, it's yada yada yada. No, it's a strange kind of a PR thing to bring that up. And I'm suspicious of the timing. It just seems like a strange time to make a major announcement like this, and it still doesn't seem correspondent to observable health phenomenon that I can see happening in my own personal sphere. I mean, I don't know. It makes it look really suspicious. I believe that it will call the whole process into question for many more people. Like, why would they do this now? What are they actually doing? I've heard a lot of people thinking about this, like why are they reintroducing the same thing over again, kind of thing.
Yeah, repeating it. Oh, by the way, now there's a new murderer during lockdown law. You know, as if murder was not already illegal. Now we'll have to talk about it being illegal because of the lockdown and the COVID virus, etc. You know, it's just PR garbage in my mind. You know,
Yeah, it's a strange presentation.
well, that's why journalism is so important too, for real. It's about getting the message out there. Then I feel if people could see what was going on, they would understand more than they do now. Like sitting CP24 is not your doctor, you know, and sitting on your couch is not going to solve any problems that you've got while society collapses around you on the outside. And listening to the powers that be, I don't think is the only way to go. I don't think it makes sense anymore. And hopefully people will start to hear the message that we're trying to tell. And in that vein, like, so Tim, could you tell me a little bit about what your channel is and websites or anything that you're trying to push? Let me know and I can help you get it out there.
Okay. Well, the concept around HVN was to give a voice to the common folk there.
Hmm.
I've noticed that sometimes as a construction worker, etc., etc. I mean, salt of the earth types have very valid things to contribute to this. This is the audience. This is an important audience of the people that are out there getting things done and keeping the country together. And I find quite often that views of these type of people, it's not necessarily who's been targeted by traditional media, and yet they represent what I would call like true, like down, wholesome Canadian opinion.
Mm.
And part of the concept behind the high-vis network is the idea that just about anybody with a cell phone and half of a computer can technically have a voice and a platform. And what I'd really like to be able to do is to help people get their voice out. Take something from maybe a cell phone video or so and upscale the quality, help people a little bit like this, help people get into video editing, processing, promotion, developing small brands, and aggregating the opinions of let's call us the common folk.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but we don't have that luxury as journalists though, do we? We have to report on everyone as well, which I kind of am a fan of, but it's a very strange world out there right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's not about necessarily targeting anyone. Like, it's not about targeting that as a specific group, but yeah, I would like to give a broad voice to anybody that gets encountered there. There's I don't just want to pick any one group or the other there exactly. Like yeah, it's about
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying though, and I agree with that too then. Now, I know just in the interest of not ruining the beautiful conversation that we've had one further time, I'm going to say goodbye to you once again. Unless there's anything else you want to say, and I'll see if I can get on the air for you then.
Oh, well, yeah, no, just check out the high-vis network, and we're always interested in contributions, and we're always interested in we're always going to be coming up with something new there. We're starting a whole bunch of new segments, and keep posted there. We're posting stuff every few days, every week or so, and we're going to keep that up. Donations wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah, I agree that too. You know, give everyone donations who's putting good media out there, because we're not getting paid by the government. It's
Exactly.
You know, we can only represent those who pay for us, and so far I'm representing no one. You know, and you as well, and you know, we'll all be in this together, and we'll see where we can go with it. But you know, donate as much as you can, as often as you can, to independent media, because God knows we could use the help. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time then, Tim. And I will get this stuff off to you. And I appreciate the fact that you took your time out twice to do this. And you know, I'm a little sheepishly embarrassed about what happened. And if it happens again, I'm just gonna find a bridge and you'll hear about me on the news.
Technology can be a cruel mistress.
Oh my God, no kidding. Then you're totally correct on that, then, Tim. And so I'll say thanks so much, then, Tim, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have a good day.